Ignoring someone may seem like a simple act, but it can be the most powerful technique to defend your peace, maintain emotional control, and avoid unnecessary conflict. Responding to negativity or unwanted behavior only fuels the problem in numerous situations. This gives the earlier person the power over your emotions. Not reacting to someone is not a show of weakness. Instead, it is a representation of your maturity, self-control, and confidence. It may be necessary to ignore somebody if they disrespect you time and again or try to emotionally provoke you or suck your mental energy. It helps you put up boundaries that are healthy for you, keeping toxic interactions from ruining your life. It is necessary to understand when and where to ignore someone. Every situation does not require a reaction, and not every person deserves your attention. For example, in the case of arguments, ignoring is a very precious weapon. Online comments meant to trigger you, or when dealing with people who thrive on drama. This type of method is also effective in workplaces or social gatherings where responding could escalate issues. We can save our relationship by adopting silence, avoiding fights, and protecting your mental well-being in the right moment. Finally, ignoring someone does not mean avoiding confrontation. It is about valuing your peace and knowing when your attention is needed for better investment elsewhere. Training your mind to stay unaffected, a very important psychological trick in the effective art of ignoring, is the conditioning of the mind to be calm and unaffected. The initial step toward achieving this is recognizing that you possess an option regarding your response. Recall, when somebody attempts to provoke or irritate you, their behavior is the reflection of their character, not you. Recall, when somebody attempts to provoke or irritate you, their behavior is the reflection of their character, not you. To attain emotional detachment, by concentrating on your priorities rather than their actions. Deep breathing, mindfulness, and shifting your attention to something positive can help you stay grounded. Gradually, your mind becomes stronger, and the other's behavior will not influence your mood. Controlling emotional responses, managing your emotions, is crucial when you wish to disregard someone without experiencing stress or anger. Rather than reacting immediately, take a moment to pause. This brief pause provides an opportunity to think clearly and decide on a composed response, or choose to remain silent. Identify your feelings, such as anger, frustration, or disappointment, and recognize the reasons behind them. Once you pinpoint the source, it becomes easier to handle your reactions. Cultivating emotional control enables you to respond with patience and clarity, making it more difficult for others to influence your emotions or disrupt your tranquility. Building inner confidence, the secret to ignoring negativity is confidence. You don't need to defend or justify your value when you genuinely believe in yourself. You understand that not everyone is worthy of your attention. Establishing boundaries, talking to yourself positively, and surrounding yourself with encouraging people are the first steps in developing that inner confidence. Concentrate on developing your abilities, achieving your objectives, and fostering self-respect. Negative words and deeds will have less of an effect on you as you gain confidence. In the end, inner confidence gives you the ability to gracefully ignore distractions and maintain focus on the things that are truly important in your life. Avoiding eye contact can quietly signal that you're not interested. Not looking at somebody lowers the chance of having a conversation which you would rather avoid, and also assists in creating a feeling of emotional distance. When you look at something else, like your phone, your work, or your surroundings, you are signaling to the other person that you are not interested in a conversation, because the eye contact is usually a sign of giving attention and being open. This method can be a great help in situations at public places or in case you want to keep your distance, but it is not possible for you to go away. A good method is to keep your attention strictly on your own responsibilities. If it is work, study, or a personal goal, dive deep into it. Distractions will naturally lose their strength as you concentrate on what is important to you. Those individuals who are trying to annoy or provoke you will see that it is very difficult for them to distract you when you are completely absorbed in your work. By doing this, you not only make yourself more efficient, but you also get rid of the trouble from people whom you don't want to notice. It demonstrates that you make good use of your time and energy by giving them to the things that really matter instead of wasting them on futile interactions. Nonverbal communication often conveys more than words do, so keeping a neutral demeanor is crucial when you want to effectively disregard someone. Remain at ease, steer clear of exaggerated movements, and keep your facial expressions serene. Avoid displaying signs of irritation, anger, or annoyance, as these feelings give the other individual power over your emotional state. Instead, uphold a poised posture, shoulders back, breathing steady, and movements to a minimum. This sends a message of emotional steadiness and assurance. Employing neutral body language establishes a barrier that stops others from swaying your mood. When your actions remain calm and controlled, the individual quickly understands that their attempts no longer impact you, making it less likely for them to persist. Giving short, polite responses, giving concise, courteous responses is an outstanding way to let someone know that you'd rather ignore them without starting a fight. Keep your answers succinct, impartial, and courteous rather than getting into long conversations. Use simple responses such as okay, all right, or I understand. This method shows that you don't want to carry on the conversation while still maintaining civility. Short answers discourage the other person from attempting to engage you in conversation and reduce emotional engagement. Most people will eventually realize that you are maintaining your distance, and they will stop trying to get your attention on their own. Not engaging in unnecessary conversations. Another effective strategy is to steer clear of discussions that lack purpose or do not enhance your life. When someone attempts to initiate small talk, gossip, or disputes, simply refrain from participating. You may acknowledge them with silence, a nod, or a short response, then redirect your focus elsewhere. This tactic helps to eliminate drama and safeguards your mental well-being. By choosing not to engage in trivial conversations, you demonstrate that you respect your time and serenity. It also conveys a powerful message that you will not tolerate negativity, provoking behavior, or draining emotional exchanges. Setting strict boundaries, establishing firm boundaries, creating boundaries, is one of the most effective methods to respectfully and healthily ignore someone. Clearly communicate, either through your actions or direct dialogue, what behaviors you will accept and what you will not. For instance, you might restrict the times and ways you engage with others, steer clear of personal conversations, or maintain some physical distance. Boundaries allow you to maintain control over your surroundings and interactions. They stop others from crossing lines, manipulating you, or seeking more attention than you're prepared to offer. When boundaries are applied consistently, others recognize your limits, making it much easier and more natural to ignore them. Boundaries safeguard your emotional health and provide you with the necessary space to remain calm, focused, and self-assured. Muting, blocking, or limiting online interactions in the digital world, controlling your online interactions is probably the easiest way to ignore someone. There are features like mute, block, and restrict, which are designed to help you maintain your mental peace. When you mute someone, you prevent yourself from seeing their updates without informing them, whereas when you block someone, you totally exclude them from your profile or messages. By limiting interactions, for example, restricting comments or messages, you set up a fence that stops the occurrence of unnecessary talks. Through the use of these tools, you are enabled to keep away from the incessant notifications, unwanted messages, and online pressure. Thus, you can be emotionally detached without much effort. Reducing social media visibility. Sometimes, ignoring someone requires minimizing how much they can see about your online life. Reducing your visibility can include switching your profile to private, hiding stories from specific people, or adjusting post settings. When you limit what others see, you reduce their opportunity to comment, react, or interfere. This helps you avoid online drama or surveillance-type behavior. You can also choose to post less frequently or avoid posting during conflicts. By controlling your digital presence, you protect your personal space and prevent unwanted individuals from entering your virtual world. Avoiding digital arguments. Digital arguments can quickly turn toxic because people feel more comfortable expressing negativity behind a screen. One of the most powerful ways to ignore someone online is simply refusing to engage in arguments. If someone comments rudely, tries to provoke you, or sends confrontational messages, avoid responding. Silence is stronger than any comeback. Engaging only prolongs the conflict and gives the other person the satisfaction of your reaction. Instead, delete the comment, block the person, or ignore the message completely. By choosing not to argue, you maintain your dignity, protect your peace, and show that your attention cannot be forced or manipulated. One of the best ways to overlook a person is to make sure that you are around people who support and build you up. The contact with friends, family, or colleagues who are positive will make the negative impact of the person you want to ignore less powerful. Supportive people help you to keep your focus on your goals, uplift your spirit, and remind you of your worth. The support that you get from them is like a protective layer against the emotional state that comes from the presence of the person you want to ignore. The company of those who love you and want the best for you makes it easier to turn away from the focus of a toxic person and to raise your self-esteem. Engaging in new activities, another highly effective technique for establishing emotional detachment, is to start new, meaningful activities. If you distract yourself with hobbies, educational opportunities, or solo projects, you will have less room in your mind to think about the person whom you want to disregard. It doesn't matter if it is going to a gym, learning a skill, volunteering, or starting a creative project. Being active will change your focus from the negative to your personal development. New experiences not only help you to become a more confident person, but they also facilitate emotional separation. Moreover, they serve as a completely different source of preoccupation through which your mind can rejuvenate itself from the stress and continue its journey. Maintaining emotional distance is key when you want to ignore someone without feeling hurt or affected. This means choosing not to let their words or actions influence your emotions. You can maintain emotional distance by reminding yourself that their behavior reflects their own issues, not your value. Practice responding calmly or not responding at all. Avoid sharing personal information with them and do not rely on their opinions. Emotional distance protects your inner peace and helps you stay grounded. When you detach emotionally, the person loses power over your feelings, making it much easier to ignore them and focus on your own well-being. Practicing patience, withholding one's attention, or ignoring someone is greatly enhanced by the virtue of patience, which is in fact one of the mightiest instruments in the armory. Quite often, individuals resort to such methods as a means of eliciting a response from you, thereby expecting that you will lose your temper, become annoyed, or get emotionally upset. Once you acquire patience, you effectively remove the power that they had over you. Patience gives you the opportunity to stop, take a deep breath, and get your wits about you before you respond if indeed you decide to answer at all. It supports you in maintaining your composure even when you are under a lot of pressure or your nerves are being tested. Eventually, patience turns into a lifestyle choice that leads to an even stronger emotional state of equilibrium. The more patient you are, the less you will be able to be influenced by negative attitude or undesirable behavior. Avoiding reactive behavior. Reactive behavior involves reacting immediately based on feelings instead of reason. This can result in conflicts, miscommunications, or giving attention to individuals you'd prefer to ignore. To prevent reactive behavior, practice taking a moment before you speak or act. Consider the following questions. Is this worth my time and energy? Will my reaction be beneficial to me? In most cases, the response will be no. By steering clear of hasty reactions, you keep control over your emotions and actions. This makes it more difficult for others to influence you or disrupt your tranquility. By remaining composed instead of reacting impulsively, you demonstrate maturity and emotional resilience. Staying consistent in your approach. Consistency is crucial if you genuinely want your strategy of ignoring someone to be effective. If you choose to ignore them one day but engage with them the next, it may lead to confusion for the individual or even encourage them to seek your attention more intensely. Maintaining consistency sets clear boundaries and conveys a strong message about your commitment to keeping distance. Whether it's limiting your replies, steering clear of long discussions, or remaining emotionally detached, consistency enhances the effectiveness of your approach. Gradually, the person will come to understand that their actions no longer affect you, leading them to naturally distance themselves. Consistency safeguards your mental health and reinforces your choice to prioritize yourself over unnecessary drama. Importance of protecting peace and emotional well-being. One of the most crucial things you can do for your well-being is to protect your tranquility. You are not being rude when you decide to ignore someone who adds stress, negativity, or unnecessary drama to your life. Rather, you are exhibiting self-respect. You can separate yourself from circumstances that deplete your energy and throw off your emotional balance by ignoring them. It helps you stay clear, stay committed to your goals, and safeguard your mental fortitude. Implying limits through silence and detachment is a way of developing a secure zone where one can grow and get emotional support. Prioritizing your joy above everything else will definitely keep your brain calm and your life devoid of unnecessary disagreements. Final thoughts on using ignoring as a healthy strategy. Using ignoring as a strategy is not about avoiding responsibility or running away from problems. Instead, it is a mature and healthy way to deal with situations and people who do not deserve your emotional attention. When done mindfully, ignoring becomes a powerful tool to protect your energy, maintain inner confidence, and prevent toxic interactions from controlling your life. It helps you recall that not every deed necessitates a response, and not every person is worthy of occupying a space in your thoughts. By practicing mental control, emotional detachment, and consistent boundaries, you can use ignoring as a strong and positive approach to create a peaceful, focused, and emotionally stable life.